and I made a series of me practicing every day for 100 days. So I decided to compress all 100 days into this one video. I hope you enjoy. Before the video starts, it would mean a lot if you like and subscribe this video. I edited over 2 hours of footage, and also please use my code DrewFN1. Okay, I hope you enjoy. On day 1, I started with practicing 90s, and then I did single edits, and then I did 90s into single edits, then I did wall edits, and then I did everything again. And I ended the day 1v1ing my friend, but these clips were so chopped, so I'm not even going to force you to see them. But I would say that is a pretty successful day. So we are now on to day 2. On day 2, I started by switching my keybinds to the ones that I still use today. I realized that my old ones were really bad. Like, why was I using a side button to edit? I started day 2 by doing everything that I did yesterday again. And then I started trying to learn how to do a double edit. And that was the entire day. So I definitely didn't do as much as yesterday, but we are now moving on to day 3. I started by doing double edits again and then tried doing 90s into double edits, and I did this one in different speeds to try to practice my crosshair placement. Next, I just practiced various edits on a wall, and then I practiced breaking a wall and placing a cone in it. Then I ended the day with a little edit course. Yeah, I thought this was so tough. So we are now on to day 4, and today I practiced different edit courses of different difficulties, and then ended the day with practicing more double edits. On day 5, I started with some 90s into a double edit, and then I practiced different piecing techniques. So from day 6 to 7, I practiced box fights, and these clips were pretty chopped, but I will show you the best ones that I had, which, let's be honest, weren't even that good. So I was now 1 week into the challenge, and I definitely improved a little, but I still had a lot of improvement to go. So let's move on to day 8. On day 8, I practiced many different edit courses. On day 9, I 1v1 my friend again, and I will show you my best clips, which again weren't that good. We are now on to day 11, and today I practiced my aim for the first time. I started with practicing shooting these balls. Then I switched my sensitivity and practiced more aiming and crosshair placement. On day 12, I did some clutch practice against these bots. And I was now on day 13, which was a monumental day. It started the same as any other day with practicing 90s into a double edit, but then I did my first triple edit. I know, it was crazy. And then I ended the day practicing some legless 90s. On day 14, I practiced some piece control, and then I guess I skipped day 15, and on day 16, I just practiced my aim again. On day 17, I practiced some more box fights. Day 18, I practiced with getting more consistent with triple edits by practicing in different speeds, and then I practiced tarping for the first time. And I also practiced tarping with bots shooting at me to help me tarp quicker. So this is taking a long time, so I'm going to quickly go through every day until day 30. Day 19, I practiced more building techniques. Day 20, I practiced some more box fights. Day 21, I practiced my aim. Day 22, I practiced piece control. Day 23, I practiced box fights again. As you can see, box fights is definitely my favorite thing to practice. Day 25, I practiced editing. Day 26, I practiced my aim. I was away for day 27 and 28, and then on day 29, I practiced edit tunnels. So we are now on to day 30, and today was a big day because I got my first win. It was in 0 builds, but it is still my first win. And this was during the Chapter 2 remix, so you can see how long ago this was filmed. And by the way, this voiceover is directly from my day 30 video from the series. I clingered this guy on the roof and finished him with the scar. No one else was here, so I left in a helicopter and went to Salty. And then I got a lot of bot kills. I then flew around and eventually found another 2 kids at Weeping. I then saw this guy in the helicopter, so I shot him and he died to my aura. So I got every mythic in the game and I chose the scar, and I don't like the ice grappler, so I just went with the normal one. This guy drove up on me. And he somehow hit me with the RPG, so I waited for him to run up and killed him. I then killed another bot. I grappled onto this kid and killed him. And then I snuck up onto this kid and killed him. And the last kid was a bot. I know, that was a crazy win. Before I continue this video, if you're enjoying so far, please consider subscribing and please use my code. This video took a long time to make and it would mean a lot. Okay, now back to the video. So now I started to get burnt out and I started skipping some days, so if I don't talk about a day, that means I didn't practice on that day. On day 31 I practiced my aim. On day 34 I practiced many different things. On day 35 I practiced box fights. This is when I really started to see some improvement. And then I practiced box fights again on day 37. Box fights is definitely my favorite version of fighting, and you can see that in these 100 days. On day 38 I practiced my aim. On day 40 I 1v1 my friend. And I'm going to show you some of the clips from that day, because I really started to see some improvement. Okay, so we are now on day 41, and I practiced some new building techniques today. Day 43 I practiced my aim. Day 45 I practiced box fights. Day 47 I looked up a video and learned some new building techniques. Day 48 I practiced box fights. Day 51 to 53 I practiced my aim. And I also practiced my aim on day 55. I don't know what got into me, but I was really grinding my aim here, and I hate practicing aim. On day 56 I went back to my usual by practicing box fights. Day 57 I practiced some building. And on day 58 I practiced my aim again. So it was now day 60 and the 2-month mark of this challenge. And I don't know if this is my first build win, but it is my first one recorded. So today was a big win. So I hope you enjoy this game. And again, this voiceover is directly from the video. I beamed this kid. He would have found a void Oni mask when going for him. And there were a lot of people, so I ran away. And I killed another bot.
Not real good.
I went back to Seaport City and easily killed this kid.
Nice.
And then this guy sensed my aura and went AFK.
Okay, that guy just...
I then killed another 2 sweats.
5, 3 kill. Okay.
And then this guy pulled up and I missed every shot.
Wow. Oh, yeah, none of those hit.
I thought I was dead here, but I got out. I was eventually able to kill this sweat. And then I bush camped for a while. Don't judge me, this took me a really long time to get a win. I then saw this guy with a McDonald's headset and was easily able to kill him.
Oh, massive crown kill.
I beamed this kid
Cracked.
and teleport on him. And was easily able to kill him.
Nice kill. I don't even want that medallion.
This guy was camping in a hut and he instantly shockwaved away. I beamed him in the air and chased him.
Crack. This guy's won. He's on. God.
This guy thought he was the king and tried to glide on me. I teleported to circle and fought this kid. He hit a nice shot, so I had to back off. I teleported to circle again. And beamed this kid and killed him.
Nice.
Now it was a 1v1.
Cracked.
And this guy looked like a toddler playing with his toes, and I was easily able to kill him. I know, that was the craziest win you have ever seen. Day 61, I went back to practicing my aim. Day 62, I practiced box fights. On day 64, I finally switched it up and practiced Zone Wars. This was my first time ever playing Zone Wars, but I hope you enjoy these clips. Day 66, I got another win. Day 69, I practiced my aim. Day 72, I practiced box fights. Day 75, I got another win. Day 77, I practiced box fights. Day 80, I went back to Zone Wars. Day 82, I actually played this everything 1v1 map to get better at all different types of fighting. Day 85, I learned new height retakes. Day 88, I practiced box fights. And this was my last day of box fights for the challenge. So I will show you some of the clips from it to see the difference from day 1 and day 88. And on day 91, I practiced some more height retakes. And I don't know what happened to the last 9 days, but this was the last day recorded of the challenge. So that was the 100 days. And as you can see, there was a lot of improvement from day 1. I've now been on keyboard and mouse for a little over a year and just started playing in some skin cups, and hopefully I can earn some money soon. So I hope you enjoyed, and I have a big video coming up by the end of the month, and please help me get to 1,500 subscribers before New Year. My second part of practicing a skill for 10 hours. In this episode, I will be practicing editing. So if you watched the first episode, which if you haven't, please do, I will be practicing for an hour and 25 minutes a day throughout a week. So let's get into day 1. So I'm starting with 3 tests, which is how many double, triple, and quad edits I could get in a row. And then I will try these tests on the last day to see if I improve through these 7 days. Okay, I got 8 double edits in a row. So now it is time for the triple edits. Okay, I got 4 triple edits in a row. So we got 8 double edits and 4 triple edits for the 2 tests. And as you can see from this, I kind of do 1 quad edit, but like, well, I mean, we count it as 1 quad edit, but I definitely want to be able to do multiple in a row. So yeah, we say I could do like 1 quad edit kind of. So yeah, I can only do 1 quad edit now for the test. So for the first day, I'm going to be practicing 25 minutes on double edits, 30 minutes on triple edits, and then the last 30 minutes on quad edits. So let's start out with double edits. Okay, that is the time. So, I found out that doing it on this side is much harder than the other side because I'm used to just doing triple edits on this side. But I do think my crosshair placement definitely got much better throughout this 30 minutes. Because at the beginning it was taking me like over 20 seconds to do this, and by the end it was like about like 15 to 16 seconds. But now I'm on to my last 30 minutes of doing quad edits. Okay, and that is time. So day 1 is completely done, and I got pretty good at quad edits, as you can see. But yeah, day 1 is now done, and we are moving on to day 2. So it is now the start of day 2, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing this for an hour, where I edit, and every time I edit, I teleport in a different spot. And I'll also be doing a challenge at the beginning and end of the hour of how many edits I can do in a minute to see if I improved over the hour. So let's do the challenge. Okay, so I got 40 exactly over that minute. So that means I'm projected to get, I believe it is 240 over the hour. So now let's do this for an hour. And that is the time. So as you can see, I got 254 more than the projected, but it is now time for the 1 minute challenge. Okay, so I got 51, so that's an 11 edit increase. So I did much better. Next thing I'm going to do is just the same thing, but on a moving platform. Okay, it's now time for the 1 minute challenge. Okay, so I got 43, which is a little better than on the non-moving platform. But yeah, so I'm projected to get about 2,400 again, a little more this time. So yeah, it is now time to do this for only 25 minutes. I only have 25 minutes left today, so I'm going to do for 25 today, and then finish the rest of the hour tomorrow. Okay, that is the time. So we got 1,170, and that is it for day 2. So I'm going to do this for another 35 minutes tomorrow and then move on to the next section. Okay, it is now day 3, and I'll be doing this for 35 minutes, and then I'll be moving on to the next section. So let's get into day 3. Okay, and that is the time. So this part is done, and I got 1,830. So way 2,830. If you add the ones I got yesterday, so that was way higher than projected. But it is now time to do the 1 minute challenge. Okay, so I got 56, so 13 more than projected, but it is now time to move on to the next section. The next thing I will be doing is this wall ramp edit. Like I always mess this up in game, and like see I flip it and stuff sometimes, so yeah, I'm going to be practicing this for the next hour, or for the rest of the day, so yeah. Okay, and that is the time. So, I am done now with day 3. I did switch sides, and it is much harder for me to do everything, I feel like, on this side. But I definitely got better at it, so yeah. So I'm done with day 3, and I'm now moving on to day 4. Okay, for the next hour, I'm going to be practicing edit tunnels, which is just a ton of wall edits. And I want to see how fast I could get now and how fast I could get at the end of the hour. So let's start with it now. We got 1 minute and 1 second, already almost to the 50-second unreal. But let's now practice for the hour. Okay, and that is the time. So the best that I got was 45 seconds, which is much better than a minute, and I feel like my crosshair placement got much better on these, and I started editing less doors in. So yeah, it is now time to move on to the next section. The next thing I'm going to practice for the rest of the day, which is 25 minutes, is edit up edits, because there's a lot of things that I need to practice. So yeah, let's get into the 25 minutes. Okay, I got 1:03 seconds. I messed up a lot on the ramps because I really need to practice on flipping those. But we're starting with 1:03 seconds, so let's see how much I improved by. Yeah, I'm much better at the ramp edit. Like, I'm cooking on this. And I believe my best was 42 seconds. But that is it for today. But I'm done with all this all together. I'm not going to do 35 minutes more because I want to do something else. So yeah, but that is the end of day 4. The next thing I'm going to practice is these double edits downwards on different speeds. So I'm starting on 0.5 times speed. And then I'll move up, and after I'm done with this, I'll practice doing it with a ramp edit, because I feel like I do this really slow in game. So yeah, this is gonna be the next thing I'm practicing. And that is time. So I definitely improved a lot over that 45 minutes. But now I have 45 minutes left, so I'm going back to half speed. And I'm just going to be doing the same exact thing, but this time with a ramp edit. See, I flip it a lot like that. And we can't be flipping it, you know? I gotta do like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be starting at half speed and then moving up through the next 40 minutes to end out the hour. And that is the time. So I definitely improved by a lot over this 40 minutes. I stopped flipping the ramp like I was before. But that is the end of day 5, I think. So we're moving on to day 6. Okay, it is day 6, and for the next hour I'll be practicing doing double edits on different speeds. So right now it's at half speed, and then see, like I only did one there, but it's on half speed, and then I'll move up to 0.75 and normal speed throughout the hour. But for the next hour, I'll be practicing double edits. Okay, and that is time. So I think I'm much better at double editing. I got 19 double edits in a row, and I was doing it after one ramp. While for the test, I only got 8, and I was doing it like this, like every other ramp. And I only got 8, but I got 19 doing this. So definitely improved with the double edits. But I have 25 minutes left today, so it's now time to move on to the triple edits. And that is time. So I just finished with day 6 and the 0.5 speed, and I definitely got better with my crosshair placement on this. But I'm doing 0.7 times speed and normal speed tomorrow, and I'm gonna end with quad edits. And tomorrow's the last day, so then I got the test. So yeah, that is it with day 6, and we're now moving on to the last day. Okay, it is now the final day, and I will be starting with triple edits on 0.75 times speed, then normal, and then I'll be moving to quad edits on half, 0.75, and normal again. And then I'll be doing the final test. And that is time. So I got a lot better at triple edits. I even got 10 triple edits in a row, which is the most I've ever gotten before. So I got much better at triple edits over that little hour. But now it is time for quad edits. So I have 45 minutes left, so I'll be doing less time on each of these. But it's time to do quad edits for the last 45 minutes. And that is time. So I still can't really do a quad edit without stopping, but it's definitely the least important edit, and no one would really use it unless they're trying to hit a clip. So yeah, but I definitely did improve on it a little bit. So yeah, now it is time to do the test for all of them. Okay, the first test was double edits, and I got 8 double edits in a row. So let's see what I get now. Okay, I got 12 double edits in a row. And I did get 19 before round practicing, but for the test I got 12, which is still better than the 8. So I definitely improved on the double edits, and I'm getting way more consistent on them. Okay, the next thing I did was triple edits, which I got 4 triple edits in a row. So let's see what I get now. Okay, we got 11 triple edits in a row, which is definitely the best, or the most that I've gotten before. So 11, that is massive. The last one is quad edits, which I kind of got one in before, and I still like kind of have to like stop. But like I would say I'm definitely more consistent on these. But yeah, I'm not didn't really improve much on those, but then I use that often anyway, and I definitely improved a lot on the triple edits and the double edits, especially the triple edits. I improved a lot on those. So yeah, this video is now over. So that's the end of the challenge. My editing improved a lot. And if you haven't already, please watch part 1 to this series. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe. This is now the 4th part of me practicing a skill for 10 hours throughout a week. Today I practiced Zone Wars. The first 3 days I play this unlimited Zone Wars map, which is nice because if you die you can just glide back in. And as you can see, the clips aren't that good, and that's because every second someone lands on me and I get railed from 3 different angles. And I wasn't really able to do anything crazy because I got crazy input delay because I'm playing on a console and using keyboard and mouse. But this map is good to get reps in for the actual game. So I'm sorry the clips aren't that good, but it gets better for the last 4 days. But I'll just show you the rest of the clips. Okay, so those were all of the clips, and I wanted to show you these 2 nice clips that I hit in an actual game. But we are now moving on to the next 4 days, which I'll be practicing on tilted Zone Wars. And there are much less people, and people can't just spawn in and land on you, so it is nice. But for some reason, other people would be on my team, so they could edit my wall and stuff, and if we were the last 2 people alive, the game would just end automatically. So I decided to switch to free-for-all tilted Zone Wars, and it was nice because I would just try to land on the best player in the lobby every time to help me get better. So this map really helped, but I will just show you the rest of the clips. So that was the challenge. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you for the final part soon. This is now the final part of me practicing a skill for 10 hours throughout a week. This week I practiced box fights. The first day I practiced box fight clutches against these bots, but as you can see the graphics are horrible, and that's because I got a PC during this time, and these clips are from my PlayStation, and for some reason when I send them to my PC the graphics become awful. So that is what I did the first day, and we are now moving on to the rest of the challenge. Days 2 to 4 I practiced turtle box fights, where you instantly respawn after you die, so it is good to get reps in. So I will show you the clips from those days.
Come here, let's talk. Whoa, who's this kid? Where did you come?
Oh, please. Oh, hell yeah. Oh.
The last 3 days I practiced 1v1 box fights to get better at it, so I'll show you the clips from that. That was the challenge. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe. The next 7 days, I'll be practicing speed realistics for 10 hours. I know I said that the last one was the final part, but I realized that I am horrible at in-game fights, so I decided to practice this for the actual finale. I hope you enjoy. I started with 1v1 speed realistics for the first day, and then switched to 2v1 clutch speed realistics for the rest of the challenge. So I will show you the best clips from the week.
How is the already built for us? Oh my god, bro, why would my team have quick weapons? pushing these like as soon as I'm eating. I can't.
باشه ما بازی میکنم.
That was the 10 hours. I improved a lot and I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe.
Previously on aim training.
For the next 7 days, I will be practicing my aim for an hour and 25 minutes a day, which will equal 10 hours after the week, because there are 600 minutes in a week, and if you divide that by 7 days, you will get 85 minutes a day. So, I previously practiced my aim for 10 hours throughout a week, but it is time to truly master my aim, and this is the start of another series of me mastering all of the Fortnite skills. And make sure to watch the whole video, because somewhere in the video I will be telling you to comment something with your username, and if you do it, I will add you. So now sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. So I will be starting with a test like last time to see how I do at the beginning and at the end of the challenge. So first I'm doing click timing. I started with a score of 75 with an accuracy of 75.75%, which isn't bad. Next, I did the airbot. And I got a score of 317 and my accuracy was 49.68%. So, now, let's begin the challenge. Okay, the map that I'm going to start with is reaction flick. So I'm going to start on this. And I'll be doing this until I hit this guy in the head 100 times in a row. So as you can see, I'm doing ass. We're going to grind this until I get him in the head 100 times in a row. So let's get to grinding. So yeah, I did say I was going to do 100 headshots in a row, but then I realized that I would spend the whole video trying to do that. So I switched it to just 100 hits in a row. So 10 minutes in, I got 10 in a row. And then 20 minutes, I got 27. And then it took me another hour to get a new record, which was 33. And then an hour and 17 minutes in, I got 52. And then 3 hours and 22 minutes in, I got 95. Which was so sad because it took me another hour to finally get 100 in a row. So I was now done with my first challenge of the video, 4 hours and 35 minutes in. Okay, the next one I'll be doing is this airbot, and this one's kind of hard to like it's not like I can't hit him like 100 times in a row. So basically all I'm gonna do is kill him. Like, this aim is really bad. Basically what I'm going to do is see that kill on the left. I'm going to just basically kill him 1,000 times. And that will hopefully get my aim much better. I will be timing myself for every 100 kills and see how much improvement I have between them. And on the first one, I had to leave after only 30 kills. So I went back later and got 70 more. And I got the 100 kills in 18 minutes and 4 seconds. And then I got it down to 17 minutes and 30 seconds. And then on my third attempt, I got 1648, and then 1629, and then 1550, then 1501. Then I actually did worse with 1514. Then I did way worse with 1601. But then I brought it back with 1458 and ended with a massive improvement with a time of 1333. The next thing I will be doing is this axis tracking, where a guy moves across the axis and I have to hit him. And I will be doing the same 1,000 kills as last time. This one took much longer than the last one, and it took me 28 minutes and 51 seconds to get the first 100 kills. I shaved off a bunch of time getting 23:56 on the second, and then I got 20:32 on my third attempt. So I already shaved off almost 10 minutes. Then I got sub 20 with a time of 18:42. Then on my fifth one, I barely did better with a time of 18:38. Then I shaved off another minute with 17:48. And then on the next one, I was watching the Bills versus Ravens game, which was a crazy game, and I forgot to pause the time. So I have no clue what time I got. But then I got back to it with a time of 17:22 and then 16:34. And on my last 100 kills, I got 16:01. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is this glider tracking thing. Now I will yet again be getting 1,000 kills on it, and this is by far going to be the hardest one to do. Because as you can see here, I didn't kill him, and now his health is reset. So it is going to be hard to get any kills at all, and I have to get 1,000. So this is by far going to take the longest. There we go, we got 1 kill. But this is by far going to take the longest time. So let's begin it. So I had to go after my first 45, and then I ended up doing another 60, because I can't count. And this by far took the longest time with a time of 52 minutes and 19 seconds. And on my second time, I saved 10 minutes with a time of 42:03. Then I got 38:22, and I was now kind of locked in and started to get the hang of this. And got a time of 34:48, then 34:45, then I did a little worse with 36:16, then 30:35, then 29:25, then 32:04, and then ended this long section with a time of 34:04. Okay, so we have finally done with glider tracking, and the next thing we're going to be doing is surge tags. So basically, you just have to wait for these guys to spawn and then just shoot them. And we're going to be going for the usual 1,000 kills. So let's begin the challenge. So I realized that this one was pretty easy and decided to go to 2,000 kills and do the check-in every 200 kills. So I finished the first 200 kills in 24 minutes and 55 seconds. I also realized that if you tap, you don't have as much recoil and your gun is much more accurate. So this helped me get a time of 23:48. And while I'm doing this challenge, please subscribe because this video took me almost 40 hours to make and it would mean a lot if you do. I also recently got my creator code, which is DrewFN1. So I'd really appreciate if you use that when you purchase something from the item shop. Okay, let's get back to the video. So on my third run, I got a sub 20 minutes with 19:57. And then I got 19:32. Then 19:21, then 18:47, then I got a little worse with 20:18, then 18:02, then 17:55, and then ended it with a horrible time of 20:46. Okay, the next thing I'll be doing is bounce tracking. So I'll be having the guys at 150 health instead of 200 because it is going to be very hard to kill them, just like the glider one. So this one will probably take a long time. But let's begin the challenge. So yeah, pretty early on to this, I realized that this one would be tough, and I started with a time of 36 minutes and 49 seconds, which isn't as long as the glider one, but it still took me a long time. But I started to feel slick with it, and I massively tapered my time with a 13-minute improvement and got a time of 23:55. And then I got a time of 23:46, and this glitch kept happening where I would do 150 damage, but they would still survive. I must have been doing 149.5 damage or something, and I kept edging the guy. But then I got a time of 19:52, then 19:07, then 16:32, then I did much worse every other run with a time of 17:22, 17:57, and on my 9th attempt I started lagging, so I had to restart my PlayStation. And while I'm restarting my PlayStation, I wanted to show you this clip, because this happened many times where I would do 149 damage, because the bot would be just too far from me to do 30 damage and I would do 29 instead. But then I ended with a time of 20:55 and 17:05, and I was now 23 hours and 17 minutes into the challenge, moving on to my last section. And before I move on to the last section, if you are still watching, I want you to comment "I am still here" with this emoji, and tell me your username and I will add you. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, the next section I will be doing, which is the final section, I will be starting from here, and it's pretty easy to kill them, so it shouldn't take too long. I think that, yeah, they have 100 health, and I'll be going to this position, which will take a little longer, and then the final position. So these are the last 3 things that I will be doing. So let's begin the last section of this video. So this first part was very easy, and I got the first 100 kills in 5 minutes and 42 seconds, and did this in one sitting, and it took 56 minutes and 56 seconds to get the 1000 kills, with my best time being 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And I'm now 24 hours and 10 minutes into the challenge, and I'll be doing the medium range. On my first 100 kills, I got a time of 14 minutes and 23 seconds, and I ended the 1000 kills in one sitting again, and this one took over double the time of the last one, taking 2 hours and 15 minutes, and my best time was 9 minutes and 28 seconds. So, I will now be moving on to my last section of the whole video. This is the long range section, and it definitely took much longer. In my first attempt, the guy glitched down to the bottom of the map, so I added a couple minutes to my time, and I took 32 minutes and 35 seconds. But then I got 30:53, 29:47, 28:40, and then the glitch happened again, 54 kills in, so I got another 46 kills, and got it with a time of 27 minutes and 33 seconds. And I was now in the backstretch of the 1000 kills. In the rest of my runs, I got times of 26:27, 25:20, 21:24, a little worse with a time of 23:07, and then ended it with a time of 24:14. So, I just spent 30 hours practicing my aim. Let's see if I truly improved my aim or if it was just a waste of time with the test that I did at the beginning of the video. So, I'm starting with the click timing, and this is how I did. I went from getting a score of 75 and an accuracy of 75.75% to a score of 84 and an accuracy of 88.42%. So that is massive improvement, and the improvement tapered really lowly. And I am now moving on to the airbot, and this is how I did. I went from a score of 317 and an accuracy of 49.68% to a score of 332 and an accuracy of 56.17%. So I got a little improvement on that too. So that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. And this video by far took the longest time to make. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and I will see you in the next video. I'm on the journey to master all of the skills of Fortnite. I previously mastered my aim, but it was now time to master building. In this video, I spent over 30 hours mastering 13 different types of builds and massively improved my building. Before the video starts, please use my code DrewFN1 and please consider liking the video and subscribing. If this video gets 100 likes, I will make a video of me mastering editing. Okay, enjoy the video. To master a build, I will have to do 100 times in a row. Some skills later in the video are more complex than others, so I will only do them 50 or even 25 times in a row, because it would take way too long to do them 100 times in a row. I started the video by practicing all types of tarping, and the first one was obviously normal tarping. I did all of these on 50% speed, 70% speed, and normal speed, because the slowest speeds will help me with my crosshair placement. It only took me 5 minutes to get it on normal speed, and then I found out that you can add a timer on this map, so it made it much easier to keep track of the time. On 70% speed, it only took 8 minutes. And then I got 92 in a row about 10 minutes in, and it took me another 29 minutes to get 100, which I actually ended up getting 113. And this made me realize how these little mistakes will cause me to take much longer to master a build. But I officially mastered normal tarping. So now I decided to do normal tarping but with bots shooting, and I decided to do it 25 times in a row. But this took me so long because I basically needed to get 375 perfect tarps, because one mistake and I was dead. I died at 17 minutes in, and it took me like 10 minutes just to get there. But I finally got it after 2 hours and 11 minutes. So next I did right and left diagonal tarping. I started with right, which took me 4 minutes on 50% speed, 6 minutes on 70% speed, and 15 minutes on normal speed. And then I also did this one with the bot shooting, and I got 4 minutes in, and was easily able to get it only 12 minutes in. So next I did on the left side, and both 50 and 70% took only 7 minutes. And then I did on normal speed, which took 22 minutes. And for some reason they didn't have bots on this one, so I couldn't do it. So I have now mastered diagonal tarping as well. Next I practiced tarping upwards. This one you have to place stairs below and above you, and place walls on the right and left side of you. This one was much harder, and it took 15 minutes on 50% speed, 24 minutes on 70% speed, and 33 minutes on normal speed. And this one also didn't have bots. So I have now officially mastered tarping upwards. And I am now on to my last type of tarping, which is side tarping, which is good if you don't have many mats. I did this one going to the right and to the left, and started with going to the right, which took 6 minutes on 50% speed, 10 minutes and 30 seconds on 70% speed, and I actually did it in less time on normal speed, only taking 7 minutes. So now I was going to the left, and I got it on my first try on 50% speed, only taking 3 minutes. And then it took me 8 minutes and 30 seconds on 70% speed, and then 14 minutes on normal speed. So I've now officially mastered every type of tarping, and we are now 6 hours and 17 minutes into the challenge. I then did all the tarping again, which I'm just going to quickly pop up all the times on screen because you already saw me do them all. But it took me to a little over 7 hours in. So we are now onto high ground retakes and just any other type of build. So the first high ground retake I'll be practicing is this, and it's kind of like half an upward tarp because I place a ramp above and below me, but I only place a wall on one side of me, and then I place a wall in front of me. I started on the right side, and it only took me 5 minutes on 50% speed, and then 17 minutes on 70% speed. Then on normal speed, I had to go after 20 minutes, and when I got back, it took me another 15 minutes. So in total, it took 35 minutes. So now I was doing it on the left side, and it was definitely a little harder, and it took me 8 minutes and 30 seconds on 50% speed, 11 minutes on 70% speed, and 41 minutes on normal speed. And I have now officially mastered the first high ground retake. So next, this isn't really a high ground retake, but it is a start on 1v1s to get high ground more consistently. I started by just practicing the first half of where I had to jump perfectly here and place a floor and ramp and then do a legless 90. After a little over 15 minutes, I started also doing the second half, which was 2 90s and then whatever this is. And it ended up taking me an hour and 6 minutes on 50% speed to get it. But it took a much shorter amount of time on 70% speed, only taking 19 minutes, and on normal speed it took 56 minutes and 30 seconds, which is still 10 minutes shorter than half speed. So once I got the hang of it, I was able to do it consistently. And I have now officially mastered my start to 1v1s. So the third high ground retake I did is this. I didn't know exactly how to do it, but I've seen many other people use it to take high ground. This one was pretty difficult, and this map didn't go below 50% speed, so I switched to a different map to go on 25% speed. And I spent about 10 minutes on that map and started to understand how to do it. I had to do a double edit, place a wall in front and to the side of me, and then place a cone above me, and then re-edit my cone from the double edit that cone into a ramp, and lastly place a floor above me, and then do it all again. So it was definitely complicated but crucial to help me take high ground from my opponents. On 50% speed it took me almost 21 minutes, and then on 70% speed it took me 42 minutes and 30 seconds, but for some reason I couldn't clip when it happened, so I had to record this on my phone. But next I did it on normal speed and it took me 2 hours, 17 minutes and 30 seconds. This was by far the longest I've spent on one of these builds, but I think it's safe to say that I've mastered another high ground retake. So the next high ground retake I'll be mastering is this little side jump thing. For this one I have to do a side jump, place walls all around me, and then place a ramp above and below me, and then do it all again. So this one is pretty simple, and it only took me 11 minutes and 45 seconds on 50% speed, 35 minutes and 30 seconds on 70% speed, and it took me an hour and 15 seconds on normal speed. And I have now officially mastered another high ground retake. So the next one isn't actually a high ground retake at all, but I still think it's important. For the next one, I practiced pre-firing a shot, and then editing my cone, and then the wall next to me, and then creating another box. I feel like this one is pretty important, and it's not that hard to learn. It only took me 5 minutes to get on 50% speed, 11 minutes on 70% speed, and only 19 minutes and 30 seconds on normal speed. And I have now officially mastered another build type. The next high ground retake I'll be mastering is another side jump where I place a wall and a floor, only do a single edit, and then do a side jump, place walls and floors, do another little side jump, place ramps and 2 cones, and then make a box. This one isn't too difficult, and it took me 12 minutes and 20 seconds on 50% speed, 27 minutes and 50 seconds on 70% speed, and 34 minutes and 45 seconds on normal speed. So I have now officially mastered another high ground retake. The next high ground retake that I'll be practicing is a little more complex than the last one, but it's still not too difficult. For this one you have to place a floor and a cone again, and then edit the floor, and then place walls all around you, edit the wall in front of you, place a ramp, turn around, place another ramp, and then place a cone, edit the cone like this, and then place walls all around you, and a ramp above and below you, and then edit the wall and make a box around the cone, and then re-edit the cone. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's not that difficult to learn. It took me 12 minutes and 30 seconds on 50% speed, 22 minutes and 45 seconds on 70% speed, and then 44 minutes and 25 seconds on normal speed. And I have now officially mastered another high ground retake. So the next thing I will be practicing is kind of a high ground retake, but it's more to cover shots from your opponents. All I'm going to be doing is placing walls to my right and behind me, and then placing a cone above them while I ramp up. So it's not that complicated. And it didn't take long, taking only 13 minutes and 25 seconds on 50% speed, 15 minutes on 70% speed, and 23 minutes and 20 seconds on normal speed. And I have now officially mastered another high ground retake. And I was now on to my last high ground retake. And this one I will be doing on the right and left side. For this one you have to do a double edit, place a wall in front and to the right or left, and then edit the side wall, and then place a cone and 2 walls, and then edit that cone and do it all again. This one took 12 minutes and 55 seconds on 50% speed, 34 minutes and 15 seconds on 70% speed, and on normal speed I had to go after about 32 minutes and 50 seconds, and it took me another 21 minutes and 10 seconds to get it, taking a total of 54 minutes. So now I was going to the left, which I was definitely more uncomfortable with at the 19 minutes and 30 seconds on 50% speed, but then I actually started to get the hang of it because it only took 28 minutes and 23 seconds on 70% speed, and on normal speed it only took about 35 minutes and 22 seconds. So that is all of the builds I will be learning, and I am only 21 hours into the challenge. So you may be asking, what am I doing for the next 10 hours? And my answer to that is, well, I will be doing it all again to truly grandmaster bait all of the builds. I will be doing the time that I got on the normal speed, not the slower speeds. And for some reason, basically all the tarping clips disappeared other than this side tarp to the left. And I'm not doing them again, so you are just going to have to trust that I did them. And I have now grandmastered all of the tarping techniques. But we are now moving on to the height retake / miscellaneous. And if you made it this far into the video, type mastery and your username and I will add you on Fortnite. Thank you so much if you have made it this far. But I was now finally onto the end of this challenge, 31 hours, 23 minutes, and 39 seconds in. And I am so grateful I did this challenge because I can truly see my building improving in games. And I have now officially mastered everything in Fortnite. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video. Because if we hit 100 likes, I'll be mastering my editing. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.